So tell everybody a little bit about how you grew up and what led you to what you're doing now.
So I grew up, born and raised here in San Diego, and grew up sort of a harder life. And around when I was like just graduated high school, ended up on the streets, homeless. And but I wasn't a homeless that wanted to be homeless. I was even looking around at the other guys. I was like, I may be sleeping on the streets, but I'm not a bum. You know what I mean? A lot of these guys they're bums, from mentality to everything. I didn't want to panhandle money. So funny enough was my brother was homeless because we grew up in the foster system, right? So my brother AWOL'd from the foster system when he was like 16, and he enjoyed the freedom of the homeless lifestyle, and it is sort of free. Think about camping, but on the streets, not in the wilderness.
Yeah.
So when I became homeless, he's like he's my younger brother too. Funny enough, 2 years younger. He was giving me the tips like, oh, put your wallet in your back pocket like this, so it's harder to steal. If you have a bike, tie a string to it to your leg, so if someone tries to steal it, it'll wake you up. And you know, so then I was trying to figure out like, how do I get out of this situation? I'm homeless. I don't want to be homeless. How do I get out of this situation, right? I didn't want to panhandle like everyone else was doing, because I always felt like, what if I asked you for $1, Kevin, and then next week ask you for a job? You're going to remember me as the guy who asked you for $1.
Right.
And it's not a good look. So I would go to business, and this is 2009, 2010. And so the market was in a deep recession from the 2008 recession. So business weren't doing that good, but I went business to business to business, asking them, hey, first I would ask them, can I get a job? 100% no rate. And then I was like, well, okay, I can't have a job. Well, do you guys need help sometimes? Do you need help like maybe washing dishes, washing the windows, cleaning the floors, mopping, whatever, you know, I could go get stuff for you, whatever it is. Like 99.9% of people said no. But eventually a pizza shop, it's called, it's not the Friendly, but it's where the Friendly is now in North Park, 30th and Adams.
Okay.
So that pizza shop was I think it was called Mario's Pizza Shop or something like that.
Okay.
And they're like, yeah, man, you know, clean our windows, mop the floors, clean the tables. And first it was, we'll give you a pizza.
Okay.
Like, hey, I'll take it. You know,
food, right?
It's opportunity. You know what I mean? And eventually I was showing up, and they're like, well, we'll give you $5 and a pizza, right? And I was like, hey, I'll take it. Then there was an Ethiopian coffee shop that was next door, and then those guys were like, hey, I see what you're doing. Can you come mop our floors, clean our tables as well, and we'll pay you $20 and give you lunch. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, solid. I would do that. Eventually, and then one thing I did as well, I forgot to mention, was at some point I got access to a computer, right? So back then, not everyone had cell phones. Yeah. Right? And they were like the original smartphones, and everyone sort of had not a smartphone. So eventually I got access to a computer, and I remember using Google, and I typed in how to not be homeless. For real. I was like, how do I not? I was looking for answers. Yeah. How do I not be homeless? You know what I mean? Because who do you ask this? Right. Who get, you know? And I remember it had like one of those how-to websites. I don't know if you guys remember them, but they're like
WikiHow or something.
Yeah, WikiHow. It was like a WikiHow, and it was like, step 1, you need a cell phone. Step 2, you need an address, because if you go get a job, they need to be able to. You got to be able to put an address there. Yep. You need a cell phone, because if you get a job, they need to be able to call you back. So I was like, okay, well, step 1 and 2 is get an address, get a phone. So I was able to actually find one of these, like an Alpha Project satellite, where I was able to get an address. Yep. It was on 30th and University, or 30th right street over from University. And then I would go hustle at all the restaurants that I was hustling for, eventually saved up $80 and got me a Cricket phone, little Cricket phone. It was like, I forgot, it was like super cheap. It was $80, and I forgot how much the fees were at the time. It was probably cheap, like $15 a month or something like that. Something crazy.
Which now looks like such a small thing, but back then it's like such a big.
Well, when you're homeless, like that's a lot of money. Yeah. But I was ambitious. Yep. Then eventually I led to this gym in North Park. It's not there anymore. It's moved over to City Heights, called Undisputed. And I went in, and it was just like, I just got super lucky, man. Like, I went in because I was a wrestler in high school. And when you're homeless, you have nowhere to take a shower. I would go weeks without taking a shower, unfortunately. You know, I would have to bird bath it in the Burger King bathroom. So I needed a place to take a shower. I wanted a place to work out. And before I went to Undisputed, I actually went to this place called Boulevard Fitness.
Okay.
And they just opened up. Someone told me that they were having a grand opening special where like I think it was like $15 a month with the grand opening special, right? And I was like, I could do $15 a month, have a place to shower, maybe get a locker, have like my valuable things, you know, like the birth certificate, I could get that stuff. And I went in, they showed me around, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, so how much is the membership? They're like, I forgot, $30-something a month. I was like, $30-something a month? But you guys have a grand opening special, right? Oh, they're like, no, that's over. I'm like, but you guys have the sign outside. It says grand opening special. They're like, no, it's over. I'm like, but because the sign's outside, I get that special, right?
Right.
They're like, no, that just means we have to bring in the sign. And I was like, okay, I see what it is. Fuck you guys. Yeah. Then I went to Undisputed, and just fate had it. I talked to David Ventura, and he told me the prices of the gym was like $130 at the time. And when you're homeless, bro, $130 is like $10,000.
Yep.
And I was like, so, hey, I shot my shot like I did with everyone else. Could I get a discount if I clean the gym? You know, just shooting my shot. And he said, as a matter of fact, we need a new cleaning guy. Can you start tomorrow? And I was like, whoa, yeah, absolutely. But I clean the gym. How much do I have to pay? He's like, no, you clean the gym. You don't have to pay anything.
Yeah.
And I was like, boom, showed up.
Let's
it
go.
was August 2nd, 2010 is when I joined that gym. And that was literally the root of where I'm at today. Everything, all my connections, from everything rooted from that gym. And from there, my teammate Milan, his dad owned, but he was the captain of a fishing boat. So from there, I went commercial fishing, caught 88 tons of albacore tuna.
Damn.
Out in North Pacific, yeah. Came back with a little bit of money. I wanted to start like a business and all that stuff, but I had so many people telling me what to do with my money.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, hey, I'm thinking about getting a truck, starting a landscaping business, this and that. Oh, how much is it? I'm going to pay $5,000 for this truck and buy everything. Oh, $5,000 for the truck is way too much. You should do this, or you should do that. You should do that. You should do this. Now, I keep in mind, I was 20, 21 at the time.
Yeah.
And so I had so many people giving me so much information that I sort of did like nothing. Sort of like wasted the money a little bit.
Yeah.
And eventually my friend came from Texas. He's like, hey, me and my stepdad were freelancing construction out in Texas. Do you want to come to Texas? I was like, yeah. Spent the very last bit of money I had on my ticket, flew out to Texas, and started building houses out there.
Damn, okay.
Came back to San Diego on my 22nd birthday and started a window cleaning business. So I went business cleaning windows. From there, I eventually became a barber. So I started cutting hair, and I was a really damn good barber. Yep. And I loved it and all that stuff, but it wasn't making me the type of money I wanted to make.
Yeah.
And I was like, and on top of that was when I would look outside the window in North Park and see everyone having a good time and I'm stuck inside, I was like, I can't do this life. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So then I started like messing around with the camera because I was marketing my haircutting. And then I just eventually got so good with the camera that I was like, I could do this for other people. So then I jumped into the marketing and the videography, which then led me to now marketing and creating content for attorneys.
Yep.
So it's a little, I left some stuff out, but you got to make the story a little bit short,
Yeah.